I am known by many names: the Red Blade, the Unbreakable, the Silent Reaper. None of them matter. What does matter is what they all believe: that I cannot be hurt, that I have never bled. I have fought in battles that would crush armies, faced monsters that could rend flesh from bone with a single swipe, and yet I have always stood tall, untouched, invincible. But there is a secret buried beneath the surface, a truth known only to me. The scars are there, countless and deep. The wounds have been endless, but I have learned to hide them with a pinch of illusion magic, a gift from a sorcerer long dead. It is a magic that turns fear into power, a trick that cloaks my body in invulnerability. Even when I am one step from death, I use it because I must. And tonight I will need it more than ever. The town of Ashrock is dying. When I arrived, the streets were already empty. The house is silent, as though some great unseen hand had wiped life from the place. It wasn't until I reached the center of town that I saw the reason. A figure stood there, robed in shadow, its presence making the air thick with dread. I had heard the rumors, an ancient evil, a nameless horror that fed on the fear of its victims. Those who saw it never lived long enough to speak of it, save for the few mad souls who escaped, their minds shattered beyond repair. But here I was, facing it down. I had come because I was the only one who could. The figure turned toward me, eyes black as the abyss, lips curling into a thin smile. Its voice was like the wind, cold and empty. You think you can stop me, Red Blade? You are nothing. I have seen 1,000 like you fall. I unsheathed my sword, its steel gleaming in the fading light. My grip was steady, though beneath my armor I could feel the weight of my own wounds, wounds that had never healed, hidden by the magic that now cloaked me in false strength. It didn't matter. The figure didn't know. It saw what I wanted it to see: an unbreakable hero. You've killed enough, I said, my voice steady. It ends tonight. It laughed, a hollow, terrible sound that seemed to shake the very earth beneath us. The shadows around it began to writhe, reaching out like tendrils, creeping closer. My heart pounded in my chest, but I held firm. I had faced death 1,000 times before. This would be no different. The fight began like a storm, sudden and violent. The creature's tendrils lashed out, seeking to ensnare me, but I danced between them, my sword cutting through the darkness. The figure shifted and morphed, becoming part of the shadows itself. But I pressed on, slashing through its defenses with precision. Each blow I struck was met with a cold laugh, but I saw it, faint but growing, a flicker of doubt in its eyes. I didn't understand how I could still be standing, how I could still fight. I could feel its frustration mounting as it hurled more power at me, more darkness, more terror. But each time I moved with purpose, my strikes calculated, my defense unyielding, but I could feel the pain in my bones, the strain of 100 battles before this one, but I pushed it all aside. I had to be more than mortal. I had to be a hero. With a final roar, the creature lashed out, sending a wave of dark energy crashing toward me. I braced myself, driving my sword deep into the ground, using it to anchor myself. The force slammed into me, but I held my ground, even as the illusion threatened to break, even as I felt my legs tremble beneath the weight of my own injuries. The creature's eyes widened in disbelief. It had thrown everything it had at me, yet here I stood, unbroken, unbent. It took a step back, and in that moment I knew. It was afraid. I pushed forward, my sword cutting through the shadows like a beacon of light. With a single strike, I drove the blade through the creature's chest. It let out a scream, a high-pitched wail that echoed through the empty streets, before crumbling into a pile of ash at my feet. For a moment, the world was silent, then slowly the shadows began to recede, the darkness lifting as dawn broke over the horizon. I stood there, breathing hard, the pain in my body surging back as the illusion flickered. My wounds were still there, hidden beneath the magic, but the people didn't need to know that. They would wait to find the terror gone, town saved. To them I would remain a legend, untouched by harm, unbreakable. As I sheathed my sword and I turned to leave, I felt the weight of the magic settle over me once more. The road ahead would be long, and the battles never ending, but as long as I wore the illusion, I would be more than just a hero. I would be the one who never bled. An illusion so great, I might even fool death.